I am and I know who I'm not.
Now, like the song says, she knows who she is, but more important, she knows why.
My opportunity to sing is greatly connected to my desire to share my faith with people, because faith gives you hope.
Her music has charted on the pop charts and the R&B charts, but be clear, she's committed to gospel. So you never really wavered on what you wanted to do with the music.
Nah, never.
From the multi-Grammy Award-winning group Marymary, Erica Campbell shares her motivational message on The Pulse.
I believe that success is mine. I believe that love is mine. I believe joy is mine. I believe peace is mine. So I will sing that and I will pursue that.
We've got somebody whose music and talent I've been appreciating for years. I don't know where we start. She's got multiple Grammys and nominations. She's got her own radio show, reality TV show, millions and millions of albums sold, both as a part of a group, a duet, and now as a solo artist. Kinda, because I'm not even sure if we just call you the solo artist, because Marymary never really stops. Erica Campbell is our guest today on The Pulse. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I'm honored to be here today.
I appreciate it. It's a lot. Like we don't even have to stretch like your introduction. There's some people you talk to and you're like, they're really talented at what they do. But,
yes, I do lots of things. Lots of things.
You performed at the Super Bowl. Like, what haven't you done?
Let's see.
What's on the bucket list?
I just did Carnegie Hall last year, so that was amazing. I'm doing the Kennedy Center this year, so that's amazing. I still have to do a world tour. World domination is still on the bucket list.
So when you're on the world domination tour, that's when you'll come back and we'll have you as another interview.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. You were kind of born into the church, the gospel background, but how'd you get started?
Oh, well, of course, started singing in church. When it began to get professional, my church choir won the McDonald's Gospel Fest in 1990. And we recorded an album, and we went to Norway and performed and did an album over there. And we had something called choir night that was every first Sunday night. And so everybody from the city would come, and we began to get this following. And I knew that singing was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, not just because of the audience, but because I was able to bless lives, encourage people. You know, you saw them cry, but you saw them be filled with joy and hope and expectation of what their life could become because of faith. So my opportunity to sing is greatly connected to my desire to share my faith with people, because faith gives you hope.
So it was singing at a very young age, and you knew you wanted to do this and you love this, but it was also singing gospel and spreading the gospel. That was always your background too.
My dad was like the coolest preacher ever. So he was like the preacher for the bad guys in the neighborhood. You know, if they had problems, they would come to Elder Atkins, and he would pray for them and he would talk with them. Or if girls were struggling with certain things outside of the church, they would come and talk to my mom. So I learned early on that faith could reach the regular person, the everyday person. I didn't grow up in the kind of church where we shunned people or made them feel bad if they did wrong. Because if I'm telling you about this gracious, loving God, then I need to accept people who don't know him and don't live like they know him.
Absolutely. And we're going to get to that. We're going to explore that, because that's a blessing, but it also came with challenges.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which I would imagine, though, and I'm just using my own experience at some of the churches that we have here in Philadelphia who do similar things. Mm-hmm. You know, reaching out to people who are I mean, this is going to get me in trouble, but not the church-going kind of standard crowd. Right. You're reaching out to the people who probably need the gospel. You're going past the choir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we're critical of that.
It's crazy, because if you read the Bible, then you know that's exactly what Jesus did, right? He got in trouble for talking to the woman at the well who had multiple husbands. He got in trouble for talking with someone who was a tax collector, and those were the crooked guys in that day. Well, kind of this day too. Yeah. Nevertheless,
right.
He spoke to those who didn't know who he was, right? The well don't need a physician, the sick do. So I need to take who I am and what I know and this joy that I have to people who don't have it, who haven't had it for a long time, and share it with them. Even when it came time for me to sing background, and I was singing with Brandy and Brian McKnight. It was my pastor who said, I know we usually tell you guys don't listen or sing secular music, but I feel like you're supposed to be there. And I believe it was because of what I'm doing today, reaching the unchurched, reaching the lost with this amazing life-changing love.
So how did you break through? How did it become your thing and your opportunity, your voice?
Well, we got our publishing deal with EMI, that's now Sony ATV, and we wrote for soundtracks and Yolanda Adams and, Prince of Egypt and Dr. Dolittle and all these, Stuart Little, all these big mainstream movies. And then we wrote Shackles.
Yep.
And that was supposed to be for a music soundtrack for the Prince of Egypt, but we kept it for ourselves. The song came out. It went #1, top 5 in the world. Still one of the biggest songs that I've had. Like, I can be in a grocery store and hear Shackles, in a shopping mall and hear it. So it happened fairly quickly. But the thing about it happening quickly is you have to keep up with it. And the thing that I have to keep up with is sharing this good news. So I'm not trying to keep up with the charts or a big interview or any awards. I'm trying to keep up with the fact that there's always somebody whose heart is hurting. There's always someone who's broken, who needs a message of hope. It's been working for me all these years. And so I'll just stay on that path, and I won't focus on the accomplishments. While I'm very, very grateful for them, I won't focus on how many records sold and all the things that I do, but I'll focus on the lives that are changed, because that's when you really know that you're making a difference.
Fun fact, I used to host as a intern coming out of college. They wanted me to do all the other stuff at this radio station that my father managed. And the exchange for me doing everything else was that I got to host a Sunday evening motivational, inspirational show. And Shackles was my theme song.
Really?
And
wow.
I don't even know why. I just knew I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think it's...
songs have that energy that move you, and you don't know why it makes you feel better. And I believe that is the faith, the hope, the love, that's the God in the music.
Shackles was, at one point, was #1 gospel, top 5 R&B, top 10 pop charts, all at the same time. Yeah. And if you listen to the song, as much as people enjoy it in all different genres of music, the message in your music never changed, even when it was different groups, who were appreciating it. So you never really wavered on what you wanted to do with the music, even as everyone else was kind of embracing it.
Nah, never. I remember being asked, you guys should sing something else. You're so successful. Everybody's paying attention to you. Sing R&B, sing pop. And this is going to sound bad, but I don't mean it to. I said, did I win a Grammy with Shackles? Did we go platinum talking about Jesus?
Right.
Then that's what I'm going to talk about.
Coming up next, Erica Campbell tells us why the critics, they never really get her down.
One comment says, I love you, you're great. The next comment says, it's subpar. Go back to Mary. We don't like you by yourself. Of course it stung a little bit. I just kept singing and won a Grammy for the album.
I need just a little more Jesus. I need just a little more Jesus. Hey, I need just a little more Jesus. I need just a little more Jesus.
You never wavered, but on one side, you have people who are saying you need to sing R&B, you need to be secular music. On the other side, you have people going, that ain't gospel.
It's not gospel enough. Right. There was a pastor who was telling people, don't sing Mary, Mary in my church. I mean, I just feel like, okay, it won't be played in that church. The world is big. We'll be all right. And so I was never... It hurt my feelings sometimes, because knowing that I grew up a church girl, when you see other people that do what you do and supposedly serve the God that you serve, you think that they would recognize you. But, everybody has their view, and that's okay. We won't see each other the same. I always say I will sing to the corner of the earth that I've been assigned to. And I feel like God has given me a pretty big piece to sing to. So for those who don't know and don't get it, God bless you. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that. Now, there are people in the past who I've seen people question that ain't gospel. You're not doing the wrong thing. You're spreading the wrong message. And part of that is because they did go off and sing secular music or R&B, for better or worse. I don't understand why you got the heat, because again, the message never changed. Why? Tell me why.
Because every church is different. Everybody grows up different. Everybody has a different understanding, you know? And this happens in every single field. In hip hop, there's some hip hop artists that'll say this hip hop isn't legit hip hop, right? Someone will always take ownership and believe that it should all look cookie cutter. But what I love about the God that I serve and the God that I know is he didn't make clones, right? Mm-hmm. We don't speak the same language. We don't go to the same churches. We don't sing the same songs, right? There's some people who like country, some people who like jazz, some people who like my style of gospel, and that is totally fine. You will always have that in the world. People will always be fighting for or trying to decide what is authentic and what isn't. And when you know that, then it doesn't hurt my feelings.
Because both you and I, we're grown now, you know, and at grown now, you know, hopefully, and I still don't always love the social media or the things that people put out there, but you're much more capable of handling it now.
Absolutely.
But baby
I
Erica,
had a former manager that said, if you're going to take the praise, you can't disregard the negativity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're going to, because people go to social media for this kind of dopamine kind of feel good, you know, who liked the picture, who made the comment. If you're going to read the good, you have to know that the bad is there too, right? And you have to be very balanced in that sense, right? Because one comment says, I love you, you're great. The next comment says, it's subpar, go back to Mary, we don't like you by yourself. One of the first comments that I ever got was, my first solo song was A Little More Jesus. The comment was, you don't need a little more Jesus. Honey, you need a little more Tina, because you're just the cute one. She's the singer.
wow.
I just kept singing.
Wow.
And you know, of course it stung a little bit. I just kept singing and won a Grammy for the album.
You're empowering, you're motivating. I love, you know, that whole concept, because I'm thinking about like how, you know, I cried my last tear yesterday, and I'm just kind of going back and the impact that some of your songs had on me. And I'm sure all of the people who were watching.
Yes.
But then you think about like the person who's sitting in the room hearing, even if it's 5 of those types of criticisms, you're going, wow, I'm singing about keep the faith, keep going forward. You've cried your last tear. God's got you. And this person's hating on me.
Someone will love what you do. Someone will not. I can't pay attention to that. Yeah. Those things are, they are designed to distract you. Mm-hmm. And the strong ones know how to overcome that. You had
a reality show. You have a radio show. You know, you've done a lot of things that people could define as, in some ways, and I don't want to make this too big and put all this on your shoulders, but it kind of changed gospel as we saw it at a certain point. You know, it changed the way music was being received. It changed what was accepted. It changed doing a reality show.
Yes.
At what point did you realize, like, wow, like we're bigger than singers. I'm bigger than a singer. My message is getting out there. I'm actually having this type of new impact.
I don't know if I looked at myself as big in that way. I've always been joyfully surprised because I always prayed for big things. You can't pray for big things and then when they come, be surprised that they're there. I asked for it. And if I believe that God hears my prayers and answers my prayers, then I have to be more thankful than surprised. When I was doing the solo record and I first started, I made a promise to myself to not say that. How do you feel, Erica? I didn't want to say, I'm so shocked. I'm joyfully surprised because I put in the work. I have a great team. I did what I was supposed to do. And I think that hard work is rewarded.
Coming up, she's a successful solo artist, that's true, but Mary is and will always be family.
My mom raised us to believe that you can have an argument, but it doesn't mean that you don't love your sister anymore. You can disagree, but you're still family. We don't throw family away.
Feeling sure, feeling clear, feeling positive, feeling free and complete, felt the love you give. No, you won't ever leave me. Positive.
So people went looking for drama when it wasn't Mary Mary and you decided you're going to go off and do a solo career. And it was everything that you read was, it got to be drama there. Her and her sister don't get along anymore. This is the end of Mary Mary. And everything I read that you said was, that's my sister. Like, we're good. Like, I'm just going off doing something else. So for the haters and people out there, it was never drama. It was just life.
It was regular sister drama.
Okay.
Like, she said something I don't like and we fuss about it. And then after that, you come over and eat some tacos.
Right.
You know what I mean? But A Little More Jesus, Tina wrote on that song. On her solo record, I'm actually singing backgrounds on the song. So when her record came out, she came on my show and I helped her promote it. Any concert that I had where she was there, she would come to it. My first big performance at the Gospel Stellar Awards, she was right there in the front row. So it's always been love. Like, my mom raised us to believe that you can have an argument, but it doesn't mean that you don't love your sister anymore. You can disagree, but you're still family. Right. We don't throw family away. I can tell you, it's not a month that goes past where we don't say, man, when we do this next Mary Mary record, it's going to be bananas. Like, me, her, and Warren, who's my husband and been our producer since day one. So we're all anticipating the big return, which will probably be 2025. I probably shouldn't say that, but that's what
you said it. So, in quotes, the cute one who can't sing went solo, and you were number one again, like just recently. You were number one again as a solo artist. How is it as the solo artist going out there and kind of spreading your wings? It seems like success just continues.
The reason I choose to be positive and confident is because I don't always feel that. And so when life wants to bring you down, you have to build yourself up with what you believe, right? And I believe that success is mine. I believe that love is mine. I believe joy is mine. I believe peace is mine. So I will sing that and I will pursue that. And because I want to share that with the world, I think that's what allows me the success that I have. Because I'm not selfish. This is not just about me. It's about touching someone's life and changing someone's life and letting them know the same way I've overcome my obstacles, they can too.
For somebody who's doing so much, it almost sounds disrespectful to say what's next, but I'm going to do it in the most respectful way.
Please
What's
do.
next?
What's next? The new album is coming probably around my birthday, which is April 29th. I am working on that music. I am having merch conversations about other products and stuff. I'm working on a book, a children's book that I'm actually sending over to the editor today. And I'm a creative person, so I do it in my sleep.
Coming up next, she wore a dress for a photo shoot. No big deal, right? Or was it?
They put the picture out, and there was one woman who had something to say.
Okay.
And I think that story kind of spiraled.
I thank you, God, that you didn't just save me for me, but so I could tell someone else so that they may know you and come to love you as much as I do.
Right before I came in here, I had the infamous white dress that you wore years ago. I'm sorry. I had to ask because I was asking people who came in the office, didn't explain who you were one way or the other. I was just like, do you think that this dress is inappropriate? And everyone who came in was like, I think it's a beautiful dress, but it's long sleeve, it's turtleneck, it's below the knee. Like, what's inappropriate about the dress?
I just had a baby. Lost a little weight, but still had that mama body that I thought was fantastic. And my husband, my mom, my whole team, everyone's like, oh my God, this dress is great. Let's do it. And they put the picture out, and there was one woman who had something to say. Okay. And I think that story kind of spiraled. But for the most part, everybody from Pastor Shirley Caesar to CeCe Winans told me, Erica, you look beautiful in the dress. Yolanda Adams, all the beautiful women in gospel were very encouraging and comforting. But there are some people who have vilified and demonized women's body. And I think actually that mindset comes more from men, unfortunately.
Okay.
And it's just a conversation that I think is necessary because far too many women have been shamed for the fact that they have a beautiful body. You know, you're going to make someone look at you bad because you have a beautiful body. No, you look the other way. I look the way I look. Now, I'm not going to come, like you said, the dress was a turtleneck from here down to my mid calves.
Right.
When people have a negative view, that's just what they have.
We end every episode of The Pulse with that concept of use your voice for good.
Yes.
We ask everybody what use your voice for good means to them. What does it mean to you?
Use your voice for good means to extend hope in this kind of hopeless world, to give someone courage who doesn't have it, to be someone's cheerleader who needs it, to just smile at someone who hasn't seen someone smile at them, or maybe even tell them I love you, to extend as much kindness as you can. The world sucks sometimes, but there's some good people in it. And if you can be the source of good for someone just feel better in this day, in this moment, then you've done your part to help make the world just a little bit better, just for a moment.
I absolutely love her energy, love her music, but I love her spirit and the time she spent with us and the information and motivation that she shared. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. Want to remind you that you can hear the entire interview podcast. All places podcasts are available. Make sure you subscribe. You'll get a notification every Monday when a new episode comes out. And again, thanks so much for watching. And I leave you as I always do, reminding you that whenever you can, use your voice for good and have a good one.